Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Ron Harris. Before we get started, please, if you're not subscribed already to this channel, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, helps me out. Of course, if you like it, like it. If you want to share it, please share it on your other platforms. Drop some comments. We're going to be going to a live chat shortly. I'm going to start out just by introducing what happened. I had been losing my hair for about 10 years. Yeah, you can see that. Mostly the crown area, which I couldn't see. Obviously, it was behind me, but I started seeing pictures of myself from behind. It was really bothering me. I had a bald spot, same bald spot my dad had, same bald spot that all four of my brothers have. But I'm vain, try to look my best. I care a lot about my appearance. I was having some recession here on the temple area too. The forehead, it was all going this way. It was male pattern baldness. And looked into hair transplants a few months ago and discovered that a lot of people were going to Turkey. So this is before Chris Bumsteady and Valier had decided. I had actually been a little influenced by the Coach Greg Doucette video, where he had gone to Turkey, Istanbul, to have his done, because the price is so much cheaper there compared to the United States. It's about a quarter of the price. Average price in Turkey is going to be between $3,000 and $6,000, whereas in the U.S., you're looking at about $20,000 to $35,000. So significant difference in price, which is why I decided to go all the way around the world to Istanbul, Turkey for my hair transplant. I just got back last night. I had left on Monday and arrived there Tuesday. They're 8 hours ahead of where I am in the East Coast of the U.S. So there was a significant time difference, 8 hours. First day there, didn't really do much. Got there in the afternoon. I'm going to take you through it. I actually want to start with some videos. Show you what went on with that. So let's share the screen, shall we? Let's go to Facebook, and I didn't really edit these at all, so these are really raw. So
ready? Okay, I'm here in Istanbul. We just landed. We went from Boston to Heathrow in London. I'm here for my hair transplant. Just waiting for the driver. We had a hell of a time. Very, very difficult navigating this place. Not speaking a word of Turkish. For the best. So they're going to take me to get immediately from the airport to go get blood work and an electrocardiogram. And then, I'll take some footage of the place.
There's some scenic views of the parking lot.
Okay. And let's go to the next video. I think next video, I'm already in now hair time. Yeah, so this is where they were drawing the new hairline, which is really going back to my old hairline in my 20s and 30s before I started losing my hair. So that actually took a while to determine. They did a lot of measurements, and they're very meticulous about it. There's actually like 4 different guys that worked on that aspect of it. So let's take a look at it. This is just real quick.
Evet, bir baksın.
Oh, that's loud. Okay, the next video is the scariest clip. It's me getting my head shaved. This was very, very tough emotionally for me when I saw my bald head for the first time, because I've never shaved my head my entire life. So let's take a look at that process. It was very scary, particularly the part I could see when I watched the replay where all the hair was taken from the middle part and I still have the hair on the sides. Not a good look for me. Oof. You see I'm a little scared there. I think you can see the trepidation in my eyes as the woman comes up to me with the clippers. My wife laughing at me. Oh, look at that. Horrible, horrible. So that's what I would look like with that Homer Simpson kind of hair.
Geliyor. Video çıkmak istersen eşinle biraz küçük anlarını çekebilir miyim? Çıkmak ister misin videolardan?
So do you want to be on the videos or no?
No, okay. Biraz daha çekelim.
Oh, she can be in. She's not worried about being on camera. But
Oh yeah, I don't care if I'm in the camera, but you don't have to put me in them.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. Yeah, no, I don't care. It's okay.
It's my wife, Janet. Look how sad I look. Oof. Oh boy. Rough. It's rough. Oh boy, oh boy.
Now you know what it looked like shaved.
oh, my glasses. No, I know you got all the people who saw a little good ball.
Well, you can really tell where you don't have any hair now, though. Crazy, huh?
Oh, it's like lighter.
The top is like barely any shading. Yeah. Boy.
Fotoğraf alsam çok iyi olur.
That guy did not want to be on camera, so I apologize to him in advance. That's why the next video, I actually had a video with him drawing the lines, but I had to delete it. He did not want to be on camera. Sorry, dude, because here you are. Next video. We jump all the way ahead to the next day. No, so that was the day I did the procedure, right? Yeah, they shaved my head, drew the lines, and then, so it was like an 8-hour day. This was halfway through. They gave me this crappy hospital lunch. It was like beans and some soup and very little protein, an apple, a roll. But I was starving, so it was all good. I'll explain the whole procedure later, but this was like halfway through. They had harvested the donor hair from the back of my head, and they had put in the recipient area in the front. I can't touch any of this area, by the way, for 2 weeks. They had done that, and then they still had the crown left to do, which was going to take another couple hours. So this is about a little more than halfway through the day.
You can come closer, I think. Babe.
Well, I explained
It's
it.
you, right
Am I
here.
on? Am I on?
Yes.
Okay, so about halfway through the procedure now. The first thing they did was they put the numbing stuff in, the anesthesia, the painkiller to numb everything back there. That was actually the most painful thing. It was about, 12, 15 different injections around that area. Then they harvested the hair with one machine. That took a long time. Then they flipped me over and they implanted the healthy hair follicles from the back of my head into this strip here. And I'm having this hospital lunch now that they provided for me. And after this, they will numb my crown, my bald spot at the top. That's going to be a bitch. That's going to hurt. And then put the healthy hair follicles in there. And then I'm all done for today. So stay tuned. Thanks.
And let's see, we jump all the way. So they wrapped me up, and here I'm explaining. This is right after I got back to my hotel room. Yeah. Okay, everybody. So I just got back from the hospital where they did the procedure. We were picked up at 7:30 this morning. It's a little past 4 now. So you saw I had my head shaved, and that was at the Now Hair Time Clinic. After that, I was taken to this hospital where they do the actual procedure. So the first thing they did was to harvest or extract all the healthy hair follicles from the back of my head. And following that, took a couple hours to implant the healthy follicles into the front of my head section.
And then got a little lunch. They gave us a hospital food lunch. It's pretty nasty, but whatever. It was food. I was starving. And then did the crown of my head. And it looks, as you can see, I'm not supposed to look directly down for how long, babe? 3 days?
7 days.
7 days. Geez, yeah, 7 days. So also supposed to sleep at a 45-degree angle for 7 days as well. 3 days? I'm not really sure. I have to read it all. They gave me a packet with all the information, tons of different medications to take. As you can see, to me, this looks horrific. I scared a little girl walking out of the hospital, I think. And, just hoping for the best. This is day 1. So I have this dressing on my head now, goes all the way around. That's going to be removed. I go back tomorrow. They remove that. And the last day I'm here, they're going to shampoo it for me and explain how to shampoo it myself. After that, and then we'll go home back to Boston. So that's it for now. Give you another update later. Bye-bye.
Okay, and what we got next? This was the next day. So here I am explaining what's going to happen on. They call this day 2. Day 1 is the day of the procedure. Day 2 is the second day where they take off the medical dressing, and day 3 they give you her first hair wash, and I went directly from there home.
Okay, so this is day 2. I got my hair transplant yesterday. You can see I still have this massive bandage on. I'm waiting to get picked up to get that taken off. Last night, my pillow was soaked with blood and fluids that they had injected into the scalp. You have to be very careful. Nothing touches the recipient area where the new hair has been transplanted. So I had to sleep up at a 45-degree angle, which is really nothing new to me. I usually sleep propped up anyway so I can breathe better. But can't wait to get these bandages off and see how it looks. So see you soon.
Okay, I think I only have one more. Yeah, this is I believe the last video I made.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is day 3. It is Saturday. I had the transplant done Thursday. Friday, they took the dressing off. That was yesterday. Today's the day I go get my hair washing, and then we're going straight from there to the airport. Going back home. Can't wait to get home, but I want to show you what it looks like. So you can see the donor area is the back. The recipient area is the reddish area. That's where they implanted the healthy hair from the donor area. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So you can see I did, they took the maximum amount of grafts, I believe, which was how many hairs on?
I don't know, 4,500. I'm not
Something
sure.
like 4,500 hair follicles from the back, which was my healthy donor area. And they put a lot of them on the crown. Can you see that?
Ooh.
That only has a 50 to 60% success rate, the crown area. This front area, where I was having a lot of recession, that has a much higher success rate. So I should have a lower hairline, closer to the hairline I had in my 20s and 30s. And the top, I'm going to hope for the best. It's going to be a long, long process. The final result takes about a year for all the hair to fully regrow the way it should. So I'm not going to know exactly how well this went for quite a while, but I'm hoping for the best.
Boy, yeah, that was that. Now I want to show you just some photos. Took some photos from. We didn't take a ton of photos. This was day 1. I'm sorry, day 2 was the day before the procedure. So this was Wednesday. We did a tour. We got the most expensive package that Now Hair Time offers, which included a tour and an extra day in Istanbul. I spent a lot of time at that hotel, but this was the only day we got around. This is the famous Blue Mosque. It goes back, it's about 500 years old. We went there just before one of the 5 prayer times that the Muslims have there every day. And, they kicked us out at prayer time because it's only supposed to be for prayer. Tourist stomping tour. You had to take your shoes off. Beautiful, beautiful inside there. You could see all the tile work and the stained glass. This was our tour guide, Sama. She spoke very good English. Not a lot of Turks speak English. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't arrogantly assume that everyone in the world should speak English. That's ridiculous. But most of the Turks spoke little to no English. even the touristy areas, I was surprised. More shots. There's a view of the ceiling. Yeah, I mean, you really get a sense of the history there and the artistry that went into all these things. It's another picture of the inside. This was the courtyard in the middle. You can see the minaret there where they do the call to worship, the call to prayer 5 times a day. This is a courtyard in the middle of everything. Apparently, it used to be like a community center where a lot of people would just sort of hang out all day. They had food, they had activities. It's, just a place to gather, not just a place of worship. There's another picture of the front. This was not far from there. The center of what used to be the Hippodrome when it was the Roman Empire, where they did chariot races on this. And this is an obelisk that was transported all the way from Egypt to Turkey. And it took them, I guess, months. Took it by ship, and then they had to transport it over some ground. And it's amazing that these people could do that with very little technology. They had no machines the ones that we would be familiar with. So just a cool little thing to see there. A couple of police cars. This one's a Bentley, so that's obviously a Benz right there. And I guess there was some controversy over that they spent so much money on these police cars, but people were loving them. So many people were taking pictures and videos with these cars. The back view, a few car fans out there. It's a Bentley GT, I guess. Ronnie Coleman used to have one of those. I believe this is the Hagia Sophia, which was had been a cathedral when there was the Holy Wars, the Crusades, or whatever, back in the Middle Ages, and the Crusaders took back this city. I think it was called Byzantium at that time, and when the Christian Crusaders conquered the city, it was renamed Constantinople, and then later the Muslims reclaimed it and repurposed it. They turned it into a mosque, and beautiful mosque there. Let's see. Okay, so this was a cistern underground where the Romans had stored the water for the entire city, and then via aqueducts and other means it was taken all over. So this all the way up to the ceiling or close to it in the Roman times would be full of water for drinking, irrigation, all that. It's another view. This part here is underwater. There's only about a foot of water in it now, maybe 2 feet. This is one of the columns, and you can see the bottom is a Medusa on its side. There's another column next to it. There's another Medusa. These are snakes upside down. This was a full body Medusa statue. I don't know what the obsession. One of these Roman emperors was obsessed with Medusa for whatever reason. There's a lot of Medusa sculptures in there. Another one, another shot. There we are. It's us again. It's the last day I had hair before they shaved me. Janet enjoying some baklava. I guess there's always been a debate between, I think, the Lebanese and the Turks as to who invented baklava, who has the best baklava. Of course, they have Starbucks there like they do in every corner of the globe. Okay, so this is before my head was shaved. This was the last time I would see hair on my head for quite some time. But you could see how high my hairline was. And even here, it's very, very thin. Because my hair used to come down to about here. If you see the old pictures in my album on Facebook and so forth. And there's the top. You can see a lot of hair loss. Very, very thin. It wasn't completely bald, but it wasn't far off. Shiny skin there. I had been spraying it with some stuff that people would touch up their grays with to cover their gray hair, and I had been spraying it on for about the last year. And I don't know how many people I was fooling, because up close, you could see that the skin was just sprayed brown. They used to make fun of Dave Palumbo for doing the same thing years ago, and make fun of me now for doing it, but I'll never do it again, obviously. This is the lobby of Now Hair Time. Everything was first class with that place. This is the same place that Coach Greg Doucette went. I'm sure he got it for free because he has a massive following on social media, huge views on his YouTube channel. So I'm sure he got it for free. Chris Bumstead went there in December with his brother-in-law, Ian Valliere. I would guarantee you they got it for free just because they should. It's marketing. He's got 25 million Instagram followers, a couple million YouTube subscribers. So more than it's a barter. It wasn't like he got it for free. He was giving them all kinds of marketing and publicity and exposure in exchange. But I don't have that kind of following, so I paid full price. So this is going back. This was on the way. So the clinic where the Now Hair Time clinic is actually a couple miles away, a few miles away from the hospital where they do the actual grafting procedure. So here they had marked it out where they were going to do everything. And I'm inside the limo or whatever it is. This is after the procedure. I was back at the hotel with my head all bandaged up. There's the view of the top. Look at that. It looks really nasty. The texture is just what gets me. It's so creepy looking. In the front, you can see there, it's already started to ooze a little crap there, leaking a little blood and fluid. They had injected a lot of fluid. And that's the reason I couldn't look down. Apparently for 3 days, 72 hours, I was not supposed to look down, which I did my best not to do. Even you can't look down at your phone. You have to look straight ahead or up. And I was supposed to ice it, every hour or two to prevent swelling. Otherwise, this whole area, your forehead and over your eyes, would swell up like a beluga whale with a big bulging forehead. Yuck, who wants that? There's a view from the top of my dome after the transplant has been done. Little bristly hairs. That was my pillow the next morning. I had a neck pillow on. So this is what kills me. I brought 2 towels with me, 2 darker colored towels. I brought them all the way from Boston, and my dumbass forgot to put them on the pillowcase or the pillows before I went to bed that first night. So they injected all this fluid to sort of swell up the scalp that's how they do it, to do the transplant. And a lot of it leaks out that first night. As you can see, this pillow looks like a crime scene. And this is the neck pillow I had on. You can see that was soaked. Even with the cover on, the cover got soaked. So there was my view for the next day. My first look at my bald head. That's my thumbnail. I'm trying to look shocked. This was the first shampoo. So this is the last day. I actually went directly from here to the airport for my first of 2 flights home. I have to shampoo my hair very, very carefully. You can't have any water pressure on it. There's a lot of things you have to be very, very careful with the grafted areas for at least 10 days. For a whole month, I can't work out. You can't sweat. You can't have your heart rate elevated. What's the other thing? You can't have high blood pressure, so you can't work out. You can't have sex. Can't smoke. That was Popeyes at the airport. We actually ate a Burger King a block away from our hotel because, the food's pretty cheap there unless you eat the hotel. It's like a 5-star hotel. So, of course, the breakfast is included, breakfast buffet, but everything else, the other restaurant was fairly expensive. And that's our last photo. It's Janet and I at Heathrow Airport in London last night, waiting for our connecting flight to Boston. Okay, so let's get to your questions, guys. Let's get it. So the first one came in before we actually started the stream. Sai, congratulations. Look forward to your whole series of videos related to recovery. Yeah, it was a good vacation, but, I went there we really, like I said, only got out on the town and saw the sites one day. The area where our hotel was at, and this is interesting about Istanbul, half of Istanbul, or I don't know if it's a full half, part of Istanbul is in the continent of Asia, and the other part across the water, I don't know what that body of water is called there. That's actually in Europe. So I went to Europe and Asia on this trip in the same day. Winstraw Churchill, good on your own. Went to Heathrow Airport, was there the other day, yeah. So I can say now I've been to London, although I didn't leave the airport. I was only there for about an hour the first time, and then an hour and a half. Look better already. The shaved head actually suits, looks younger. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to having the hair growth, but this hair won't start growing back until the new hair, I should say. So this is the recipient area is where the new hair is going to grow. And that's going to take about 3 to 4 months. And in between, there's like a process where it starts to grow and then it sheds. So I'm going to go through some very, very awkward phases along this journey where it looks like I'm having hair one day, and then a couple of days later, it's going to fall out. And you really have to do your research and find out how it all works so you don't get alarmed and panic, because you could easily panic. Change that lighting. Double M. Couldn't you have gotten the hairline a bit lower? Did you just sign up? No, I had enough. This is as low as they wanted to go. They didn't want to go too much lower. I actually, you know what? I don't know for sure if they could have gone much lower, because it's been so long since I had hair down here. I don't know if it's possible to even do it, but it's going to be a big improvement over what it was. I'm hoping to have very close to the hairline I had, like I said, in my 30s. All those throwback pictures I post from when I was in my 30s, even my early 40s, I still had that hairline. Philip Cheers. Did it hurt? I was thinking doing lots of people saying it hurts like hell. The only pain, to be honest with you, was when they numbed it, because they have to inject it. And obviously there's nothing in there to numb the pain yet. So they're injecting into your scalp, which is incredibly thin, sensitive skin, a lot of blood vessels. You know, it's just your thin skin and then your skull. Basically, there's not much there. So when they would stick it in, and then as they were pushing the numbing agent in, oh my God, it hurt. I was gritting my teeth. I was trying not to move. I didn't move my head because, you know, they're telling you constantly, reminding you, don't move your head. Your head has to remain motionless. But my body, I was like all clenching. They were telling me, relax, relax, breathe. Hey, that part did hurt. But after that, which was about I'd say like a 15-minute process for the injections. After that, and they did it one more time on my crown area a couple hours after that. That's the only pain. When they're doing the actual grafting or the harvesting and then the grafting, there's no pain because your head's completely numb. You can feel like a sensation. You can feel pressure and you can hear everything going on, but you can't feel a thing, which is good. Yeah, Winstraw. Yeah, you know, I keep saying I want my old hairline back, but at 54, it would look really unnatural and bizarre to have like the same hairline I did when I was a kid. Like if I had the same hairline as my son Christian, I don't know how many people would even fall for it to be like, is that a wig? Is that a hairpiece? This guy definitely had like a hair transplant, something. The whole goal is to make it look natural and close to what you were before. I don't think, you know, unless you're very, very fortunate, at 54, you're not going to have the same exact hairline and thickness of hair that you did in your 20s. I mean, that'd be great if you could, but yeah, in a perfect world, right? So my friends said it didn't work the way they thought. Did they give you any guarantee? No, there's no guarantee. But to sort of hedge my bets, I did do the most expensive package. I did the maximum amount of hair grafts. And this place is one of the more expensive places now, Hair Time. You know, I didn't get any discount. I certainly didn't get it for free. So I'm not plugging them. I'm just saying I had a good experience with them. Everything was first class. They did a great job of explaining everything. They have translators at their facility. You're driven everywhere you need to go. So they take a lot of the worry and guesswork out of it for you. And, you know, the hope was that by going with one of the top places that it is more pricey, but hopefully that's it increases my chances of having a good result, I think, because I have heard that the cheapest places you can go to, it's going to be about $2,500. I paid $6,000. You can have it done over there for about $2,500, but that's something I don't think you want to skimp on, because I would venture to say when you're getting a really great deal like that, you're saving a lot of money, but you're probably not getting the same quality of service, the same level of expertise. This place, everything about it was first class. The doctors, the technicians, a lot of staff. They put a lot of money and time into the whole process, and they treat everyone very well. And I'll tell you, they're on WhatsApp, and any questions I had, like when are you picking me up, what do I need, any questions about anything at all, they would get back to me no matter what time of day or night it was. They get back to me within a minute or two. Any questions I had, so I can't say enough good things about them. Yeah, I wish they'd given me this all for free, because, you know, me really not doing a whole lot of work right now was not the best time to do this. But my wife had booked the plane tickets, had bought the plane tickets before MD went out of business, and those are non-refundable. We hadn't paid for this procedure yet, but just said, screw it. We have savings, you know, we're okay. So I'm certainly not going to be blowing money like that, you know, on a regular basis. Did you get any double or triple hair follicles? Some guys get several. Look out. I mean, how would I know? I would need like a microscope. They're minuscule. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Thousands and thousands of hair follicles in there, though. I mean, it took hours and hours. Like I said, I was there. They picked me up at 7:30. Went to Now Hair Time, as you saw in the earlier videos. Got there at about 8. I didn't get back to the hotel till 4 p.m. So it was like an 8-hour process altogether. Philip again. Will the new hair fall? Yes. Oh, well, no, that's another thing. Yeah, I have to be very careful. There's actually a lot of changes I'm going to have to make. I will never be using things like Tren or Masteron again, DHT derivatives. If I use anything beyond TRT, it's just going to be a little bit of DECA. And I'm not going to be going heavy on the doses. I'm going to stick to closer to a TRT dose. And, I can't take any chances. This was costing me a lot of money. I don't want to screw it up. I found out smoking, whether it's cigarettes or cannabis, would really hamper the whole process and render it useless. So I certainly don't want to, make this all a waste, that time, and especially all the money. So I thought I could go back to cannabis, even in an edible form. You can. It's the THC in it. It's not the smoke. I thought, okay, well, I could do edibles, right, or gummies, but no. I looked into it. It's the THC in marijuana, in cannabis, that it actually can soften your hair follicles and cause your hair to fall out, which might have combined with the steroids I've been using all these years, double whammy. I'm lucky I didn't had more hair loss than I did. But moving forward, I can't smoke pot anymore. I can't take edibles. No more marijuana, no more cannabis, no more THC for me, which, as someone who's been using it regularly for many, many years, it won't be easy, but at the same time, it had to be done. And, I kept saying, I'm going to cut back, or I'll quit for a month, and then, I'll take a month off. And I never did. So this is a good thing because it's forcing me to do it. I don't have a choice. I'm not going to screw this up. Too much invested, too much money. And I don't want to go through all this only to have it fail because I didn't have the willpower to stay away from a recreational drug that, it was a crutch. I was using it every night to relax, to help me sleep, all kinds of things, whatever. But it was a crutch. I don't need it. And as much as it's going to be tough to, maybe I can occasionally once in a while have it, but certainly can't have it every day, can't have it several days a week, can't do that anymore. It's got to be either no more marijuana or cannabis or very, very rare. Yeah. And I this is the part that's going to be rough is I can't work out. I cannot work out, can't lift weights, can't even do cardio. They say you can do cardio after 20 days, light cardio, but they don't want any weight training for a full 30 days. None. I've never gone in 40 years. I've been weight training for 40 years, a little over 40. I've never gone a full month ever. I've never gone more than, I don't think, 7 days in 40 years without working out, without lifting weights, no matter what was going on, even when I had surgeries, all kinds of injuries. I would still work. I would still train whatever I could. When I tore my right tricep, I was still working my left side. When I had the shoulder surgery on my left shoulder, I would still work that, or I would do my legs. I would always do something. Even I tore my quads. I tore my quad. I was still in the gym 2 days later, back training upper body on crutches. But I've never gone this long. But it would screw up. If you have high blood pressure, because your blood pressure does raise when you're training, you're exerting effort or sweat. Sweat could have infect the transplant follicles. I can't even touch them. Nothing can touch them. Anything touch them. You can't wear a hat for 10 days. Nothing. Has to be completely left alone. So it's going to be tough going a full month without working out. But the upside to that is I'll have a lot more time on my hands to be productive, especially where I need to make things happen for my next chapter in my career, my life, since MD is no longer a thing. So this is, I'll have no excuse. I have all this time now. I won't be going to the gym because the gym, I'd leave for the gym, say at maybe like 9 in the morning. I wouldn't get back till 12 o'clock. That's typical. That'd be a typical. So 3 hours out of my day, I'm going to have 3 more hours to be productive in, things where I need to get my career going. And this channel, I'll be able to do more with the channel and just social media things. Maybe I might teach myself how to edit a little bit. Things I've been putting off that now I'll have no excuse because I'll have all kinds of time on my hands. But yeah, it's going to be rough not working out. Oh my God, the pillow looks horror. How did you sleep? I didn't sleep that badly, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people complain. The other guys, because there was that hotel is where they put everyone up at this place, Movenpick Hotel, Asia Airport. That's the hotel where they put now Hair Time puts all their clients up at. I'm pretty sure that's where Bumstead and Ian Valier must have also stayed. Yeah, so you have to stay at a 45-degree angle. You're sitting up because this, you can't, nothing, the recipient area can't touch anything, can't come in contact with a pillow, nothing. These things are so fragile right now, so sensitive, so delicate that it's, at least, especially for the first 72 hours, if the slightest like little a pillowcase hitting them could destroy that follicle from taking root the way it's supposed to, and really getting firmly securing its implant. I guess I don't know all the terminology. How much it cost for you is in for full package, including all flights, hotel? No, I paid for the hotel was included. I'm gonna go to. I think I put it on the. Did I not put it on there? I thought I did. Yeah, here we go. So I got the gold package, 6,000 euros. I think euros and dollars are pretty much the same now. So I got the max amount of grafts. Well, actually, they all have maximum graft. Hair transplantation. They use the Sapphire FUE technique, which don't ask me to explain. You can look that up. There's a million videos on YouTube about hair transplants. Very popular subject. One session of PRP where they took out some of my blood, put it in a centrifuge, and they put that into the area as they were implanting the hairs, just to stimulate blood flow and healing. 10 months of vitamin supply. Yeah, they gave me all these biotin hair pills. Medications used after the operation. There's a whole list of them. I'm still taking them. They include antibiotics. I already used up all the painkillers, which did nothing. So I take Ceph, an antibiotic, Prednol. I'm not even sure what that's for, honestly. Corspin. I don't know what that is. Dexaphin was the painkiller. Panacer. I'm taking that every morning. Yeah. Medications used. Shampoo and lotion were needed. Yeah, they included all the shampoo and the lotion. Medical examination included. Accommodation of 5-star hotel for 4 nights, including breakfast. Companion fee not included. They didn't charge us for Janet eating there, though. VIP transfer. Yeah, they had these like very luxurious vans with couch, very comfy chairs and big TV. You could watch wherever you wanted, and drinks and snacks in there, all that crap. It was kind of like a limo. They picked you up at the airport. They took you back to the airport. All the transportation was included. Interpreter support. Istanbul tour was included in that. Hagia Sophia, Blue Mountain. Oh, they're just telling you what's on the. Yeah. Okay. So I actually slept pretty well, and that's because I sleep at an angle anyway, just so I can breathe better, because I do have a little bit of sleep apnea. So I typically sleep with my head propped up on pillows anyway. So now I have to sleep with a neck pillow for the next, I think I need to use the neck pillow for the first 10 days, and I'm already on day 4. So about another week with the neck pillow and sleeping up at that 45. And after that, I think I can sleep however I want. Because after 10 days, you don't have to be so paranoid. You can start wearing hats again, although they don't want you wearing anything tight. And if you wear a hat, they want you taking it off every hour and letting your scalp breathe for a few minutes. But a lot of the guys are complaining that they slept horribly because obviously they're not used to sleeping that way, propped up like in a seated position. Like I usually sleep at about, 70-degree angle anyway. And I just had to, 45. I just had to sleep up, propped up a little higher than normal and with the neck pillow. So the only thing that kind of threw me for the sleep was the time difference, because, it's 8 hours ahead. And like last night, I didn't sleep too much on the plane. I never do. We were actually all the way in the back of the plane for the longest part of the flight from London to Boston. It was a 7-hour flight, and we were all the way in the back. So the flight attendants preparing meals and all chopping up ice. It was so noisy. Plus the bathroom was flushing like constantly. So it's okay. But when I got home and put all my stuff away and got everything ready for next day, I slept. I had a good 7.5 hours sleep. I slept fine last night. How much it all cost for you in the end? So it was, Yeah. So back to the price, it was $6,000 for the procedure in the hotel and transportation. That was all included. And then the flights for my wife and I were $1,500 together. So this whole thing cost me, and it cost with the other meals, I'd say we spent a little over $8,000 altogether, which in the US, just the hair transplant alone with nothing else included, just the procedure itself would cost you anywhere between $20,000 and $35,000. You're not going to get any cheaper than 20 grand, unless maybe you find some cut rate place. In that place, I'd be concerned if it was that cheap. What about the old hair that you still have? If it falls, you have to implant again. Well, the old hair, the donor area was where they took it from in the back and the side. That area was still very, very thick and healthy. So, like, I don't think I was ever going to lose that hair to me. I was never going to go completely bald, but eventually, over enough years, I would have had that Homer Simpson hair where you see that typical male pattern baldness look, where they still have hair in the back and on the sides, but in the middle, it's completely bald. That would have been me eventually. I don't know how many more years it would have taken me to reach that point, but the old hair will grow back. They did take like 50% of it away. That will never grow back, but I have enough density to that hair that it shouldn't be that noticeable that about half of it's gone, because they took about, not like in one specific area, but from that whole donor area, they took like 4,000 healthy follicles out and put them into the two recipient areas, my front and temples and the crown area. Let's see, what else? Did you have dizziness or vomiting? No. So the way they keep you from getting nauseated is, I didn't mention this, I was on an IV drip. They put an IV in my arm with some anti-nausea, something, I don't know what it was, the actual drug used, so you don't get nauseated. I didn't realize I was going to be hooked up to an IV for the whole procedure, but I was. And that's a good thing. I mean, the last thing you want to do is, I was actually most concerned that, because I heard in various places it was going to be, Dura was just there too. It was Mahmoud El Dura from Canada. He just had it done a couple weeks before me at the same place. I was concerned that, like, man, I'm going to get really hungry. Plus, I have to go to the bathroom a lot. I can't hold my urine like I used to. I probably have some enlarged prostate. But I only need to get up to pee, I think, like twice. And once they gave me a break to eat anyway, so I just peed before that. But I was really worried, like, man, what if I'm stuck and they're doing all that and I really have to pee? I'm going to be screwed. But that didn't happen. Ronzilla. Our stuff had many double follicles with my donor hair. There's a limit. Yeah, I don't know what they did there. New man in 30 days. Well, the new hair won't actually start growing back for a while. It's a very long process. And, I'm glad I educated myself a little bit on it. Like, if you quiz me on how the actual procedure works, I couldn't speak with any authority on it. There's a million videos on YouTube about hair transplants, even in turkey transplants, and they'll tell you how the different procedures are performed, the machines and all that. I'm sort of ignorant to that. I didn't study it to that degree, but it's going to be about a full year before the final result is evident. And at that point, we'll know how much hair. And I plan to be very, very cautious especially over the next week. The first 10 days are the most critical, because you could destroy it. Like on the plane, if I had stood up and bashed my head on the overhead compartment above me, that would have destroyed those follicles. They would have not taken. So I would have had a bald spot where my new hair was supposed to be. So I was really paranoid. I actually even switched seats with my wife last night on the long flight, the flight from London to Boston, because the guy that I was sitting next to, I was on an aisle, and the guy to my right was sitting next to it. I think it was his wife on the window seat, and he was talking like nonstop. It was either Turkish or Arabic. It's probably Turkish. I know Arabic sounds different. They don't sound very similar at all. But he was gesticulating like wildly. He kept putting his arm up on the headrest. I'm like, this guy's going to hit me in the head. And if he hits my head, there's all that money down the drain, and I'm not going to have my full result that I should have, because this knucklehead just whacked me on the head. So Janet switched seats with me. She's a trooper. That's very off topic, Winstrol. The answer is no. I have not spoken to him at all. It's not because, like, it's not out of malice or anything like that. Just, no, I have no reason to speak to him. We're not, we don't have a working relationship anymore. We were always friendly. We could talk about all kinds of subjects. He's a huge bodybuilding fan, but no, I haven't spoken to him. He did calisthenics CD. I don't know what that is. Oh, here we go. Oh, he did calisthenics during the first month against the advice of my doctor. Still go okay. A little turmoil, I guess. It's gonna be tough to not do anything, but maybe I'll just flex, because you can keep your muscle tone by just flexing your muscles and holding the flex. You can do that. I'll lose some size and strength, and of course, the part that's really a bummer is I'm coming back from that quad tear, and I was rebuilding some good size and strength in that previously injured leg, and now I have to wait. So I was taking these steps forward toward full recovery of my quad, and now I have to take a step back. Can't do any training for that leg, obviously, for a full month. So the entire month of February, I'm going to give it a full 30 days. So 30 days from this past Thursday, when I had the procedure done, that's when I will return to the gym. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to go to the gym looking like this anyway. Can't wear a hat right now anyway, but I guess after 10 days I could wear a hat, but I don't want to undermine the recovery process, the healing process, and make it all for nothing. I would feel like such an idiot if I did that. Just obviously, because I went all the way around the world to Istanbul to have this done, dragged my wife there with me. And she was very helpful. I won't say I couldn't have done it without her, but it would have been rough without her. I would have been A, very lonely, B, just certain things she was able to help me with, getting shirts on and off. That's another thing. You can't, for at least the first 10 days, you can't put anything over your head. You can only wear things that button or zip up. You can't put a t-shirt on, a hoodie. You can't put anything over your head because it would contact that area, and nothing can touch this for the next 7 days. So that's why I can only wear things that button up and zip up and down. Nothing can go over my head. You've heard it takes 6 to 8. I think you mean 6 to 8 months for new hair to start coming in. Yeah, months. Everywhere I read said about it starts in 3 to 4 months, but it's not going to start looking the way I want it to look, the way it's supposed to look for a good 6 to 8 months. You're right. And then it's going to be a full year, really. And for some people, it's more like a year and a half until they're finished regrowing, until they're finished getting the result, that the hair exactly the way it's going to look. It's not too different from, if you guys have ever followed like these plastic surgery shows, there's certain things like nose jobs take like a full year before all the swelling and everything finally goes. It's like a full year if you get a nose job before it looks exactly the way it's going to look. Until then, there's still swelling and weird things going on. So this is another cosmetic procedure that takes a long time to fully heal from and for the final result to become apparent. Winstrol, which I'll never use again. Are you going to keep diet the same? Yeah. I'll probably cut some carbs down. Good. That's a good one. I can still walk my dog, which is not very strenuous cardio. It's not burning that many calories. So yeah, if my activity level is way down, I'm going to be eating enough just to maintain my muscle mass and everything, but I'm going to be eating very clean, and I will be cutting my carbs back because I don't need as many carbs. I'm not fueling any workouts. I'm not recovering from any workouts, so I don't need all that muscle glycogen that I would normally need to power through a workout and then replacing it. So, I won't be having the sugary cereal after a workout. I won't be eating anything like that. It's just going to be oats, oatmeal in the morning. Rice with chicken is one of my meals. Tortilla chips, gluten-free tortilla chips with my ground turkey and salsa. Potato bun with my turkey burger, an apple. Yeah, I'm going to keep the carbs pretty moderate, not that low. Raymond Jones, I wish older people take better care of their bodies. Eventually, most people stop lifting. Yeah, I mean, I'll never stop lifting. Never, never, never. And I don't say that casually. I can't imagine not lifting, not working out. It's such an important part of my life. It feels so good. It's my therapy. It's my mental therapy. I'm vain. I like to look good. I like to feel good. I see guys my age or even way younger who just they've let their bodies go, and it's sad because your body is your temple, and it's that corpora mons sanus, healthy mind and a healthy body. I really believe physical fitness. I think it goes back to like Plato, right? Was the first one that said that. Physical fitness, being physically fit is critical not only to your health, but to your well-being, your mental health, just being mentally sharp. I mean, I don't think anybody can be at their best mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and all that if your body is very unhealthy and weak and sickly. So hairline is on point. Xavier Willis, my man over in Australia. I was actually watching on the plane last night. I didn't get to finish it. That horror movie, Talk to Me, with the hand and the spirits possessing people. Very creepy. I had no idea that movie was even Australian, but man, that's one of the better. I got to finish it. That's one of the better horror movies I've seen in a while. There's not a lot of great horror coming out these days, but that was one. It Follows. It was it reminded me a lot of It Follows, the same kind of energy and spirit with the young people and like an ensemble cast. I liked it a lot. Desktop bodybuilding. Normally I had to go through a Do It Again. Would you recommend to others? Yeah, I would, Philip. Absolutely. I mean, it really, it's what do you prioritize? If you don't care, I mean, a lot of guys they don't care if they're bald. A lot of guys look great bald. So if they're losing their hair and they shave their head, that's cool. It looks great. God, more power to them. I do not like the way I don't like the way I look bald. And I always knew, I got a big head. And I just knew that I look better with hair. I like having hair. And it bothered me that I had that bald spot on the top. It bothered me that I was losing all this hair on the side. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you. And what do you want? What makes you feel better about yourself? Like, I'm not against any kind of if breast implants make a woman feel better, nose job for anybody, lip filler, whatever somebody wants to do to their body. If that's what makes you feel good, if you want to use PEDs to enhance your physique, no judgment here, man. Whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you feel good about yourself, and nothing wrong with that. Gonna grow them luscious locks out and starts growing. I want to keep the same length haircut. I don't like having long. I really don't like having long hair. If you see some of my throwback pictures from when I was really young, in my teens, my early 20s, till I was about 23 or 24, I kept my hair pretty long. I used to have like a mullet with hair, probably about 6 inches down my back. It's not a good look for me. I'm too old now. And I prefer short hair for myself. Yeah. So I'll do that. Desktop. Yeah. I bought these specifically. I have 3 of them in different colors and I bought them just for this because I knew I didn't have any button up shirts except like dress shirts. I'm not going to walk around everywhere in a dress shirt. Right. So yeah, I mean, I see guys working out in these. I don't know if I'd work out in these or not. We'll see. Oh man. Very snow. See if no snow here. I guess my son picked us up from the airport. I guess it snowed earlier in the day and then it melted like almost immediately. We actually haven't had very much snow here this winter at all. Usually at this point, we would have had at least one storm with a foot or more. That's another thing is I realize now that the USA is one of the only places in the world where we use this weird measurement system for temperature, for distances, volume. We have pounds, ounces. Our temperature is in Fahrenheit degrees. We measure things in feet and miles and yards. Everywhere else is metric. So we're kind of a weird, stubborn country in that aspect. But yeah, we haven't got much snow. Winstraw. Is Mad Max Australian? Oh yeah, Mad Max. Those great movies. Both the old ones with Mel Gibson and the new one. Are they doing another one with Charlize Theron and what's his name? Tom. I don't know the guy's name. I know who he is. I can't think of it at the moment. Kevin Clements. What's up? More than a week. Hope all is well with you. Yeah, doing fine. Great name, Winstrel Churchill. It is. It's very clever. Hope all is well, dude. Yeah, Mad Max shot Australia. Here's a good question from Xavier. Will you change PDs to ensure you keep your hair used finasteride? Yeah, so the very last thing we did at on the second day. So the first day was the procedure. The second day was they took off the dressing. sort of cleaned up, wiped up all the gooey blood and fluids and crap. And they went over things to use. And one of the things they recommended was finasteride. Another one was minoxidil. Minoxidil goes by the name of trade name Rogaine. So he actually didn't recommend finasteride for me because I'm over 50. There's a lot of bad effects, erectile dysfunction being the main one, which of course, who wants that? I don't want it. So I'll use Propecia. I think I'll do the PRP treatments, a couple of those, probably like a total of 4, like they recommend. But as far as the PEDs, yeah, I just did an episode of Ask Dr. T, episode number 2, that's going to be up on Tuesday. And we actually were speaking before we started recording about that for a good amount of time. And that was the thing we talked about. He said, just TRT. I said, can I use a little bit of DECA? He goes, a little bit of DECA, maybe, a little bit of GH, but no more DHT derivatives, no more Tren ever again, no more Masteron, Proviron, things like that can really, especially Proviron and Tren. I will never use those again. I'm going to stay very close to TRT. I might bump it up. Right now, I'm really on true TRT, like 250 a week, which for me, that's very low. I'm going to get some blood work done probably this week again because I need a refill with Frontline alternative anyway. But yeah, I'm going to be much closer to true TRT than for the rest of my life. I won't be blasting. I won't ever go up to like 500 milligrams a test. No more Tren, no more equipoise. You know, people might argue and say it's okay, this and that, but I just don't want to take any chances. And if I can maintain my mass and, as long as I eat clean, do cardio, I'll be lean. As long as I'm lean, I look pretty good. I'm never going to be as big as I was anyway because I can't train the way I used to train. And I'm never going to blast the amount of gear that I used to blast. So, it's time to move on. Time to stop worrying about being huge. I was never huge. I was bigger, but yeah. So the PED use is definitely going to change to much healthier, more reasonable levels, more like just above TRT, if anything, but certainly not far beyond that, if at all, ever again. And that's fine. And like I said, I don't know if I discussed this earlier, but I've had to quit. I'm going to have to quit cannabis, marijuana. No more smoking, no more edibles, like ever again. It's so bad for your hair follicles. I had no idea, but right now it would inhibit the healing process where the grafts wouldn't take. I didn't realize the THC that's why they started drug testing using hair follicles, because it stays in your hair follicles for up to a year. It can be detected. I never even realized there was a connection between regular marijuana use, cannabis use, and hair loss, which along with the steroids I've been using, I'm sure it all contributed. I'm sure it all played a role. That is a flannel. Yes, it's a flannel. I threw out, my wife threw it out. I had a great one from UK bodybuilder. It says 100% nasty or something. What's his name, guys? You guys know who he is. He has these really cool flannels. And I had one, and I tried training it one time. I was sweating like a pig. I think I gave it to somebody. I didn't throw it out. I gave it to somebody. It was huge. It was like a 3XL. I was swimming in it. What's his name? I think he's diabetic too. Somebody will tell me now. I should know it off the top of my head, but I don't. Got a flannel. Guys, we're talking about flannels. Canada's supposed to use km in meters, but we use miles and feet. Oh, you guys? No, Canada's on a metric system. I've been there. I've been to Toronto several times, in Montreal once. They were using. Yeah, we were supposed to convert to the metric system in 1976 when Jimmy Carter was president. I was in like second grade, and I remember panicking because we had these charts on the wall. It was all the metric system, and we were all supposed to learn how to convert everything. And I was a little kid, and I was like, oh no, and we didn't end up doing it. People just were so stubborn here in the U.S. They would not convert to metric system. They just wanted to stay with what we had. Xavier Willis says, I use too much saw palmetto because more is better, right? Notice performance is way down and struggling. That's the emoji for the penis is the eggplant. I think saw palmetto is very underrated for reducing DHT. Yeah, I find it weird that the eggplant became the universal emoji for a penis because eggplants are like this big around. Dude, that's a high standard for us to sort of compare ourselves to, don't you think? penis. It's like thicker than your forearm. Let's see. Anth Bailey, thank you. Yeah, Anth is huge, man. Huge. It's shredded all the time. Thank you. And Leroy Davies. The very famous training partner of Dorian Yates during the period where he made the Blood and Guts video. That's him screaming at him. He was a former drill sergeant in the British Armed Forces, not the RAF, but the Army, I think. Philip, so basically for me, because I'm using ProViron Mask from time to time, it would be useless. No need to go through all that. Yeah, that's the thing is if you're going to continue using things that would contribute to hair loss, it'd be stupid. It would be foolish to spend all that money and go to all that trouble because it's going to be a lot of work to make sure I heal properly. You have to be so careful with keeping these newly transplanted hair follicles from becoming traumatized and not taking. So yeah, don't go if you want to continue using the stuff that's going to contribute to hair loss possibly anyway. Don't bother. I wouldn't do it. Flannels 3X. Yeah, I mean this one's not hard. It's thin. If I was wearing a thick flannel, I'd be sweating bullets right now, even though it's probably like 67 degrees in the room I'm in right now. Like a weight belt, gotta wear it in. What about testosterone dose? When using 5 mg will affect the new transplant hair? Yeah, I asked my doctor. He said testosterone itself, until you get into higher doses, is okay. A TRT dose will not affect your hair loss, but in higher amounts it will, because then you're going to have more conversion, not the estrogen conversion. I don't know the mechanics of it. That's why I have Dr. T to fall back on. But yeah, high doses of tests would not be a good thing either. So that's another reason. I mean, I'm being forced to sort of change my ways in a lot of aspects. I have to stay away from PEDs that I've been using on and off for years, different types, different compounds that I loved. I loved Tren in the summer, man. I loved it. Those of you who use Tren, you know, it's a hell of a drug to use when you're cutting. You know, there's no water retention. You get a little more vascular. You feel great. You feel strong. You feel energetic. But yeah, I'm not going to do anything to mess this up because it was so expensive and I really want that result. I would feel like such an idiot. And, you know, my wife would be reminding me too. She lets me know. She calls me out on all my bullshit. That's one of the many great aspects of my wife. And she would never let me forget what a moron I was if I screwed this up. So the metric 96 still in food products with with grams. Oh, you're talking about Canada? Okay. We're talking about, oh yeah, you're talking about the US. Yeah, it's weird how some things, we know grams like drugs. Drugs are always in milligrams, ml, and yeah, we have 2-liter bottles of soda, but you still will see like a quart of whiskey or something, or a quart of vodka, or half gallon of vodka. There's no consistency. Mark's Maximus on the East Coast in Canada. Let's put old school here and stick with feet. We're hillbillies. So East Coast Canada would be like Nova Scotia, mostly, I guess. Then you have New Brunswick, and then to the left of that, Ontario. No, you have Quebec and then Ontario, right? Clearly, I'm not a geographic genius, but I do know a little bit about. You know, I know because like my son was at University of Maine, and he was like a 2-hour drive from Nova Scotia. The Canadian border that would have taken him into Nova Scotia. Even the UK, they still use miles, talking among friends. And a lot of them even use stones. Yeah, stones is hilarious. I just did an interview for the Muscle Tech channel with Lewis Breed, the Brick. And there, you know, I had to research a couple articles on when he was a teenager. He was very thin. He was 11 stone, and I had to do a bunch of math. It was 50, whatever stone he was. It came out to like 70 pounds. But a stone is 11 pounds. I don't know where that came from because, you know, like, where's the original stone that they said, this is the stone that we're going to base our weight measures on? So I think that's even weirder than the pounds that we use. Nouveau Brunswick. Yeah, it's funny. We had I always thought that all the French-speaking Canadians, this is how naive and dumb I was. I always thought that they were all from Quebec, but apparently, you know, I grew up in a city called Waltham, about 10 miles west of Boston. We had a huge French-Canadian population, and the vast majority of them were from New Brunswick. And a lot of them were actually from a particular city called Moncton in New Brunswick, and they all had like the older ones that had come here as adults. They all had those French accents. And like my friend Paul Poirier that I grew up with, one of my best friends, for sure. He was born in Moncton, New Brunswick, and he spoke very good French. You know, he didn't have an accent or anything, but his parents had heavy French accents, and he spoke very fluent French. Oh, Stone is 14 pounds? Okay, I'm off. Yeah, I think I was mixed up because he was like someone was 11 stone. Yeah, I had to do the math. He was 11 stone, and it came out to like 70 pounds is what he weighed when he was 15 because he had severe allergies. You're talking about Lewis Breed now, the pro bodybuilder, Lewis the Brick Breed. His interview's up on the Muscle Tech YouTube channel if you guys want to check that out. Really cool guy. I never got a chance to really talk to him until then. He's 11. I don't know what a stone is. It's 14 pounds. They're a lot in New Brunswick, yeah. Thanks, Samson. Yeah, Samson's looking really good right now. So is Hottie. I'll have to do an Arnold preview pretty soon with Giles. I haven't been talking much about the Arnold. The only thing I did about the Arnold was when they came out with the list. And we've already had some big changes since then. But I don't want to talk about that now. This is all about my hair transplant crap. Yeah, maybe I'll just go to one more, couple more pictures. Oh, I didn't show this. So let's share the screen again. Yeah, Facebook. Yeah, I just want to show you the inside of the limo. I mean, the limo, it was a van, but it was very luxurious. They had water because, you're not supposed to drink the water there. I found out the water in Turkey is okay to drink in the big cities. The water itself is okay, but the pipes are very old in certain parts of the city. So that's what could make the water give you problems if you drink it. So everywhere it was drink bottled water, and the hotel was good. They came by with a cart every morning and as many little glass bottles of water, filtered water as you wanted, you could take. So we were drinking plenty of that, but definitely was not drinking out of the tap as I might have been in the past. Just want to go back to some of those horrific pictures. Popeyes. That was my pillow. I'm sorry. That was the neck pillow the morning after the procedure. That was my pillow. Oh God. So my wife immediately soaked all that. That's not blood. That's blood and a bunch of fluid. If it was pure blood, it would be a lot darker and crusty. So that was like blood and fluid that leaked out of my head while I was sleeping. Even with all those bandages on, it still came out. Looked like a murder scene. That's my head again, because you really can't see a whole lot here. Yeah, oof, look at that. There's another flannel. Bald head, now hair time. Yeah, like I said, I'm not giving them up. I had a great experience with them, but I'm not plugging them in the sense that I got no discount, 0 discount. And yeah, so, they did a good job, but I didn't get anything for free. So I'm not going to hype them up that much. TV playing stream or watch party. You guys are talking to yourself. Yeah. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up for now. I'm sure if you're watching this on the replay, leave your questions here in the comments. If you have more questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Again, I'm not an expert on the procedure. I'm not an expert on hair transplants, but I have gone through it. I do know a little bit, and I have all the aftercare instructions here. Periodically, I'll do updates and tell you how things are going. But yeah, I have to be very careful, very meticulous, especially over the next week, to make sure I don't mess anything up and nullify the results, potential long-term results of this, which I want the best result possible. So that's it. Thank you guys all for watching. Appreciate it very, very much. And again, if you're watching on the replay, leave some questions in the comments, or just leave some comments anyway. You can call me a vain bastard for getting it done, or any questions that you have or comments, please leave them below there. Subscribe to the channel again, like, share. Please do all that stuff. Helps me out. It doesn't cost you anything. I am trying to build this channel up. It's going to take a little while, but I'm determined. And every view helps. Every subscriber helps. So appreciate you guys all watching so much. That's it for today. Thanks for watching the Ron Harris channel, talking about my hair transplant. I just had in Istanbul, Turkey. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.